Okay, can everyone see my screen all right? Yes, awesome. Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Okay, so LinkedIn 101. This is a collab between DISC and SWE. So DISC is the Data Science and Computational Society, which was just launched this semester. So if you have any interest in data science or just in professional development, please join. We're going to be dropping the Linktree link as well as the sign-in sheet. If you can please sign in so we can kind of just keep your contact information and be able to contact you for any future events, that'd be awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So again, we'll share this doc at the end of the session so you can access these links. If anything, if you want to just Google us, this will surely pop up. So if you just look up DISC GMU LinkedIn or GMU SWE's LinkedIn as well, you can go ahead and follow us there. So what is covered in today's session and in this document? So we're going to go over what is LinkedIn, how to build your personal brand, building your LinkedIn profile, and what's the best way to navigate that. And then how do you strengthen your profile and its content? So sure, we can have a profile, but how do you actually make sure that it has everything you need to have quality content and actually be reached out to by recruiters and kind of just have a virtual resume? And then how do you build your connections and your network? So that's one of the things that's really valuable about LinkedIn, especially currently with COVID. I know that everything's been virtual. So it's really valuable to have a very strong LinkedIn profile, because when you are going to those virtual career fairs, you're connecting with professionals, trying to land those internships or just network. It's a really great tool because they can automatically see, okay, this is what this person's about. These are their qualifications. So we're going to teach you how to build that virtually and in person, and then how to send follow-up messages. So that's a really important tip to follow, in the sense of it's going to be something that makes you stand out. So whether that's after speaking with a recruiter at a career fair or after an interview, before an interview, how do you stand out and differentiate yourself from all the other candidates that are interviewing or all the other candidates that are speaking to a recruiter at a career fair? It's going to be those follow-up messages, because they're going to be like, oh, I remember speaking to you. And we're going to go over how do you write those? What's the most effective way to do that? And then how to make posts. So LinkedIn is similar to a social media platform specifically for professionals. So if you have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is a little bit older nowadays, but it's similar to those, except the only difference is it's primarily focused towards professionals. So the people you're going to be connecting with there are going to be people that are in the workforce, that can also be your peers at Mason or in any other organizations that you're part of, whether that's the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, Society of Women Engineers, IEEE, anything like that. You can connect with all those people there, and it helps build your network. And we're going to talk about what it means to have a strong network. Okay, so what is LinkedIn? So LinkedIn, professional networking platform. Again, we kind of went over this. It gives you the tools you need to really leverage the connections you have. And why is that important? That's important because the more people you know, the more opportunity that you have available to you. So I want to say about 90% of the jobs you get is going to be through the people you know. So you can have all the skill sets, you can have everything you need, you can have the degree, you can have the experience. But when you apply online, you're one of 1,000 candidates. And the best way to stand out in that realm is by having someone on the inside in that company. So that's why networking is so important. There's a saying, it's your network is your net worth. And that is so true, because the more people you know, the more your net worth is, because those people can leverage for you. They can kind of speak for you when it comes to kind of picking between certain candidates to say, hey, this candidate's a really strong candidate. I've known them for this many years. I've spoke to them at these different conferences, or I've been kind of with them in their development throughout their undergrad. So they're really able to vouch for you in that way. So that's why it's really valuable to stay connected with people and nurture that relationship. Okay, so LinkedIn's also a digital resume. That's one of the reasons I want you to have your resume handy when we're going towards the middle of this workshop, is to actually be able to put that content on your LinkedIn. So a few of you don't have a LinkedIn. So I hope that you were able to kind of just get a profile started so you can log in and kind of just go through the process of building that LinkedIn throughout this workshop. And for those of you that do have a LinkedIn, if it is kind of bare, it doesn't really have much on it, we're going to go over how do you strengthen that, what's the process, and really building a strong profile. And if you have a lot on there, but you're kind of just looking to strengthen that network, we're also going to go over that. So personal branding, this is what I want you to do right now in your head. Think about your favorite celebrity, your favorite scientist, professional. Just think of that in your head right now. Now I want you to think about, what are they known for? Why are they famous? What makes them stand out? Does anyone want to share? Who's your favorite person that you're thinking of right now that's like a celebrity, an icon? It can be anything. It doesn't have to be professional oriented. It could be a movie star, a singer, anything like that. Does anyone want to share whose theirs is and why what are they known for?
The first thing that pops in my head is Beyonce.
Okay. So what is she known for to you?
She's
Like,
known for being like a strong, independent woman, and or Rihanna, like she's also a businesswoman. I guess more so Rihanna. Rihanna has more so of a very strong, they both do.
Okay. So what portrays that brand? It's a brand if you think about it, right? So how did they make that branding for themselves? What do they do? What do they post? What do they say that really brings that across to the public?
Well, with Beyonce, it's more of like how she carries herself, how you see her in interviews and in her music videos and XYZ. It's also like, you know, she's a power couple with Izzy, and she's made a lot of like, you know, good business moves, and just everything she talks about and how she portrays herself as like a strong, independent woman. And you can see that through her actions in the past 20 years.
Awesome. That's a great example. So do you personally know Beyonce? Let me ask you that.
No, but I wish.
Okay. So how do you know so much about her, but you don't personally know her?
Because I love her music and she's so interesting that I just want to know more about her personality and who she is.
Right. So as I'm assuming that's probably through like social media that you're seeing a lot of this content, kind of just the internet, right? You're learning all that from the internet. So that's kind of what I'm getting at, is that's her personal brand. And the way she built that was through what she's done via the internet, via the television, different things like that. So that's what we're going to be building for you all today, is that personal brand, so that when people see your LinkedIn profile, when they see that headshot, when they see that bio line, you're going to say, okay, who is this person? What are they about? What organizations are they part of? What's their passion? What's their industry? What are they about? So that's what we're going to be building. So how to develop your LinkedIn. So this is a perfect place to humble brag. So one of the things that I've done just starting out really early on is, first, if you think about when people share things on their Instagram stories or when they retweet something, they're sharing a little bit of themselves and that they relate to something, right? So that's one way to start, in the sense of building kind of the content and what your brand is. What are you interested in? Whether that's a company, or say you have something that's really interesting that has to do with coding, you can reshare those posts. But when I say humble bragging, I mean, did you get an award? Did you get on the honor roll? Did you participate in an event that was really impactful to you? You can write about that, talk about that. So that's going to share a little bit of your personal brand, right? So achievements can be anything, like I was saying, scholarly distinctions. If you're part of a company's event, sometimes they have externships, internships, talk about that. If you've received an offer for something, talk about that as well. That's going to help build your brand, and it's going to get you exposure to not only the people in your network, but the people in your network are going to be liking that, commenting on that. And then it's going to pop up in their network, broadening your reach. And that's the goal, is you want to expand your network as much as possible. So the next thing is following organizations and companies or individuals of interest. So if your LinkedIn profile is a bit bare in the sense of connections right now, what I'm going to recommend to you is have a few companies in mind that you're interested in, whether that's financial institutions, government institutions, technology companies. Have a few in mind, look them up, look at who's following those pages, go through, see what you like, connect with them. That's going to automatically start building up your network. They have to accept, right? But that's going to give you a little bit of your feet dipping in the water to see what it's like. The next thing you can do is, hold on, we're going to hold off on building a profile. The next thing you can do is actually sending them a message. So like I was saying, how to stand out, you're going to send them a message. We'll go a little bit deeper into that shortly. But you want to have a strong profile before you do this. The reason why is because you want them to be able to see who you are. You can connect with them, but if it's empty, you're not really gonna make an impact. So you want it to have some content. So they're like, oh, okay, this person's looking for internships. This person's in my industry. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna keep them in my network. Potentially I can hire them in the future. Okay, so building a profile, resumes. This is literally a virtual resume. Every little bullet point, every header you have, they have them on LinkedIn. So you want to look at what can I add? And if you're kind of struggling in that department, if your resume is not as strong, if you don't really know, oh, I really want to get into these roles in CS and IT, in SWE, something, but you don't really know where to start because you're like, oh, my resume is not that strong. I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. Best thing you can do is, again, like you went to those companies' pages to find people that are interesting to you, that are potentially in a similar role as you within companies that you're trying to get into. You want to look at their profile. Look at their profile and mirror it. So the way that I've gotten my profile, the way that it is now, and I'll show it to you all shortly, is I've looked at people's profiles that are in industries that I'm interested in. So whether that's an entry-level position that I'm striving for, that I'm trying to get into, whether that's a company like Google, Amazon, Facebook, or if it's kind of just a personal branding. Do I like the way that they're branding themselves in the content that they're sharing? Or have I met them at a conference? Have I met them at a career fair? I look at their profile and I say, okay, what do they have on their profile? Do they have, what kind of certifications, what kind of classes, what kind of experiences, organizations, volunteer experience, that kind of thing. And I also look at how they phrase it. So one of the best ways to learn is by actually seeing it, right? So if you see that this person has a bunch of connections, they have a bunch of internships at companies that I'm really interested in, they're doing something right. So mimic it, mirror it, do it with what you have, the skill sets you have, the experiences you have, put them on there and mirror their phrasing, the way that they do things. And this isn't cheating, okay? This is the grown-up world. In this sense, you're not cheating. You are being resourceful, okay? So be resourceful, look at people's pages, see what they have in common, what you don't, what you're striving for. If you're striving to be like this person, then learn from them, learn what they're doing. One other cool thing about this is that you can actually see a lot of really awesome opportunities that you can pursue by looking at these people's pages. An example of that is scholarships. So I've received a few scholarships in my undergrad, but I know that there's so many more out there. So a lot of the people that I've gone to conferences with, I've looked at their pages and said, okay, what are they applying to? What are they getting? How can I get that? So I look at, okay, I want to get this scholarship. I want to get this externship, this internship. What did they do right that I can mimic so that I can get to that same place? Okay, so we're going to go over that. Don't worry, this is just a brief overview. So strengthen your profile's content. The best way to make your profile stand out is a headshot. If you don't have a professional headshot, that's fine. Have something that has a professional vibe to it. No selfies at the beach or selfies with your parents or your partner, nothing like that. Make sure it's just you, about shoulders up. Make sure you're wearing something professional. Ladies, no crazy makeup. Gentlemen, if you wear something with a collar, that's preferable. So profile pictures, it gives a face to the name. And when you meet these people in person, whether that's via a Zoom call or at a career fair, they're going to remember you. Also, when you meet these people and you connect to them after the fact, it's going to let them remember you as well. You're like, okay, yeah, I remember seeing that person. Because a lot of times people remember faces more than they remember names, right? So that's a good way to stand out. Personalize your header. So when I say header, do you all know what I'm talking about? I can just get like a thumbs up or just someone turn off your mic and say yes.
Yes.
Okay, and don't worry, we're gonna go over this for anyone that doesn't. So your header is kind of like, if you think about like your Instagram bio, your Twitter bio, that kind of thing, that's what your header is. So it's gonna stand out when you like something or when you follow somebody, your profile picture and your header are gonna be the first thing that people see. So this is how you're gonna make that stand out. You're gonna include your major and where you're studying. This automatically tells people if, oh, I studied at Mason. Oh, I'm a CS major. They know they have a connection with you. There's something in common. So they're going to want to connect with you. Think about when you go and talk with someone, whether that's at a coffee shop, in a class, Why do you talk to that person? What do they have in common with you? Are they interested in the same subject as you? Are they taking the same class as you? Are they wearing something, a brand that you like? You're wearing the same brand? Anything like that? That's what this is doing. This is bringing you two closer by having something in common. Current role. If you are an intern or if you are an incoming intern, that should be on there. If you are part of an organization on campus, SWE, DISC, SHEP, NSBE, any of these things, you should have that on there. If you have a leadership role in any of these organizations, you should have that on there as well. That's going to show that you're a leader and you are active in the community by participating in this organization. If you have been nationally recognized through a scholarship, fellowship, anything like that, this is also another thing you should have on there. It becomes a lot, so you kind of have to prioritize. If you have all of these things, you have to prioritize, okay, what's the most important, who am I targeting, and have those on there. Are you seeking opportunities? This is a really, really helpful tip. So when I was seeking internships for the summer, I had seeking internship opportunities for summer 2020, and I put what specifically, so data science roles, data analytics roles, so they knew. So if recruiters are trolling and looking and trying to find people to hire, to interview, they automatically know, okay, this person's looking for data science roles, I'm gonna reach out to them. And a lot of times it works, especially when you build your network, you have a strong profile, strong content. A lot of times they'll reach out to you. So that's why this is so valuable. The next thing is if you hold any clearances, especially being in the DC area, a lot of these companies require you to have clearances a lot of times. So if you hold a top secret clearance, a secret clearance, or if you have like a public trust, anything like that, put that on there. Next thing, how to build your connections. So like I said earlier, when you're following those pages of companies you're interested in, same thing. Right now, you're in this event with SWE and DISC, right? So go to our page. You'll see a lot of people that are currently in your peer group. Follow them, connect with them. The cool thing about that is you don't know what they're going to be doing 5 years, 10 years down the line. So if you connect with them, you say, hey, we're part of the same organization, that kind of thing. Later down the line, you can reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm looking for a job at XYZ company. I saw that you work there. We met in college. Can you help me out? That kind of thing. So anything like organizations, companies, anything like that, classmates. So next thing is LinkedIn tools to help with networking. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go to my LinkedIn really quick. LinkedIn, okay, so this is my feed. Okay, so this is my profile. This right here, this is your personalized URL. This is powerful. You put this on group chats. So for example, all of you guys right now could drop your LinkedIn in the group chat, and then you guys would automatically be building that network. Okay, and then this is the header I was talking about. Incoming a mixed credit fraud risk analyst. That's what I'm doing this summer. Any scholarship affiliations, I was a finalist, NASA Space Scholar. I'm currently PR chair for SHEP, founder of this organization, DISC. Okay, don't worry, we're gonna come back to that. Okay, in-person tips. So I know the world's kind of coming back to normal. So as we transition back, don't worry, this is still gonna be a very powerful tool. So you have the URL, but you can't really share a URL when you're in person, right? So if you have LinkedIn on your phone, which all of you should, there is a networking little button. It has like little people on it. It's on the bottom or the top of your screen. You click on that, a lot of times there will be another little button somewhere where it has the QR code. Use that similar, you know, like Snapchat, Instagram has them sometimes, and you kind of just scan codes and how fast and effective that is, right? So use that to your advantage, because a lot of times recruiters are talking to a lot of people. They're like, okay, you want to connect with people around you as well as a recruiter, can you scan this code? There's an around me feature too. So Snapchat, you know, the around me map, same thing. You can activate that, and then you can tell everyone else, hey, activate the around me feature. I'll activate it, they'll all pop up. It's kind of like airdrop if you've ever airdropped people around you, and you can add all those people right then and there. Next thing, okay, so speaking to recruiters, you want to make sure to ask for their LinkedIn. Their LinkedIn is the best way to connect with them. If they don't have LinkedIn, get their email. But LinkedIn, super powerful. Again, has your picture, has your name, it has your virtual resume. So this is something you really want to make sure you do. Even if it's just a little short pit stop, you're like, oh, I don't really care about that company, connect with them. Your network is your net worth. Make sure you connect with them. Okay, virtual tips, like I just shared, your URL, drop it in the chat. People can click it and go and connect with you. Again, utilize that message function. So if they're connecting with you right now, if they don't have their header updated, you're like, I don't know this person. Send them a message. Say, hey, we just met at the DSCS and SWE collab event for LinkedIn. Just wanted to connect. Really trying to work on building my network. Short, sweet, straight to the point. Okay. Again, building those messages. How are we going to do that? Use the filter search function. This is what that is. I'm going to show you. So when you go to your network, oh no, not my network. I want to go to, not my network. We're going to try to search for Google. Okay, let's see. Wait, is it Google? No, I want to go to jobs. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so jobs. If I'm searching for Google. Okay, just search for Google. You can search for job types. These are the filters I'm talking about right now. The level, date posted, whether it's remote. Easy apply is really cool because if you have your LinkedIn profile updated, you can automatically apply with that profile. It makes job hunting a lot easier. All filters, you pick all these different things. The company, you can search the company. If you're trying to connect with certain people at specific companies, that's the best way to do it. You can also do this on the company's page. So if I search up Google, and then I go to their page. This is their employees. I go here. All these filters are here. Where are they located? First, second, third, what does that mean? This first means you are connected with them directly. Second means you're connected with someone that knows them. So they're not connected with you, but someone you know is connected with them. Third, just keep expanding that. Anything beyond third, can't connect with. The reason that's important for you to know is because the more people you're connected with, the more people you can connect with. If you have a really small network of connections on your LinkedIn right now, that limits the scope of your reach as far as people you can connect with. So, for example, I have a lot of people from the tech industries on my page. When I go looking more into, I don't know, we'll say fintech for now, and I don't have anybody that is in the fintech realm and none of my network is connected with anybody in the fintech realm, I can't connect with them because they are not in my network's reach. So this is why the more people you have, the more reach you have to expand that even more. So that's why it's important to connect with people. Okay, this is an important fact. Gaining mentors. LinkedIn is very powerful in doing this. When you go to a conference, when you go to an event, there's a lot of really inspirational speakers, CEOs, people that started companies from scratch, anything like that. You connect with them, you send them a message, you're like, hey, you really inspired me. I just want to connect, keep in touch. I'm currently a student, but I hope to one day work for your company. You want to keep in touch. Sometimes people are busy, they don't respond. It's not your fault, they didn't do anything wrong, they're just busy. That doesn't mean stop there. Keep sending those messages to more people, and I'm sure you will get a response or an accept to connect. Keep doing that. It's going to pay off, I promise. The next thing is be intentional with your messages. So when you send a message, the things you want to include, mention that right here, your name. Obviously your name's going to be in the message, but it's kind of just like introducing yourself virtually. Your major, a lot of times, if you're trying to connect with them on a deeper level, say, this is my interest. I noticed that you're hiring for this, or we went to a conference where there's a lot of STEM people, right? You want to tell them your major, why you'd like to connect with them. What specifically is the reason? Is it just to connect? Is it because you met at a conference? Is it because you're looking for people that are in the company? This gets into the question they're going to ask. You have to be intentional. You can add people, just like, yeah, I'm going to add people, whatever. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to build and nurture the relationships, the people you're adding, you have to be intentional, because I'll show you. On my network right now, I have 86 people, right? Look, Samantha, you are here today. I'm going to accept. See, I knew because her name, her headline, right? All these people, I don't really know if I know them. So I'm not going to accept, because I'm like, I don't know if you're creepy or like what you're doing. So if I don't see that I have something in common, I have people in common with them. Like this person has 8 people connected. Yeah, I'll accept. That's cool. It really makes a difference. Okay, so be intentional. If you connect with someone and you send a message, it's going to stand out, because a lot of people don't send messages. So another thing about being intentional is, if you want to connect with somebody, I'm just going to pick some random person. See, I don't know any of these people. Let's see. I think I'm connected to this person. Okay, but anyways, the point is, you're going to their page. You want to connect to them, but you're like, I want to be intentional. I really want to work at Facebook eventually. So I really want to connect to this person. Look at what they've done. Look at their page. What kind of stuff have they done? What activities are they a part of? This person mentioned some stuff here, right? What skill sets do they have? Courses, right? See what they have in common. Did they intern at a company that you interned for? Like this person interned for Amazon. I interned at Amazon too. You say, hey, I noticed you interned at Amazon. You're currently working at Facebook. I'm also a former intern at Amazon, and I'm looking for a full-time at Facebook. Can you tell me a little bit more about your journey, how you got there? If you have any tips. It connects you with them on a deeper level. So they're like, okay, yeah, sure. They'll connect with you. If you just send a message, you're like, oh, I want to connect with this person, but I don't really have time to send a message. You can do it, but the odds of them talking to you are kind of slim. So next thing, mentors. So you guys have seen my profile. We'll go back to it here. Okay, so I have a lot of content on here. Okay, a lot of cool stuff. A lot of times people connect with you too. Don't forget that. You can connect to them, but they also connect with you. One of the cool things about having your profile this detailed is people will reach out to you. Like I was saying with recruiters, mentors too. So I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, I noticed that you're really passionate about giving back to the community. We really like doing outreach to like teach people about STEM, about going to college, that kind of thing. Say, oh, like, would you like to set up a one-on-one call? We can talk a little bit more about XYZ. I have several mentors that I've gained by them reaching out to me. So it really shows how much it pays off to really put a lot of effort into your LinkedIn. And this doesn't happen overnight. Okay, I want you to be patient with yourselves. Know that it takes time. I'm a senior. I started my LinkedIn when I graduated from high school, and I've been building it up ever since. That's how I've gotten where I am today. This 500 plus is at about, let's see, 14,000 right now. I didn't get that overnight. I promise you I didn't. It took several years to get me there. So just know that it's gonna take some time. That's okay. A really neat way to build that network quickly is by going to conferences, participating in networking events, and connecting with people. So if you are interested in NASA, if you are interested in anything technology oriented, financial oriented, business oriented, go to events where there are going to be professionals that are in that arena, because that's going to automatically give you your foot in the door in something where there's a lot of professionals that are in that realm. And then go and network, build that network, connect with them, because the more people you know, the more power you have. So next thing, I told you about follow-up messages, recruiters, professionals, even your professors. A lot of my professors, they actually work full-time jobs because they're adjunct professors, and they work at companies that are pretty interesting, and they're in my field of study. So connect with your professors. You never know. Follow-up messages, nurturing the connections. Okay, so you can send a message, introduce yourself, all that, but don't stop there. You saw how many people I have, right? 14,000, 1,400, not 14,000, excuse me, 1,400. There's a handful of people that I consistently reach out to. Why? Because I know that their connection is valuable because of where I met them, the experiences I shared with them, whether that's in an internship, a conference, professional development event. I check in with them regardless. If you're a freshman, if you're a sophomore, if you're a junior or senior. When you're an underclassman, a lot of times you feel a little bit discouraged because you're like, oh, like I can't really get an internship. They told me to come back when I'm a junior. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Nurture that relationship. When I started out as a freshman, I didn't get an internship my freshman summer. Then I was kind of like, oh man, like I've been applying, I haven't getting anything. But I didn't let that stop me from networking because I knew the more I network, the more I'm building that groundwork for when I do have the skill sets I need, I can reach back out to those people I met at that freshman career fair and say, hey, we met at my freshman year at the Mason Career Fair. They told me to come back when I was a junior. I'm back and I have the skill sets you need. Do you have any internship opportunities available? I've done that so many times and I've gotten a lot of offers from it. So don't let that stop you from building your network. Even if you don't have the skill sets, keep networking, keep building that network, and nurture the relationship. So send those follow-up messages. Yes. Also reach out to them and say, hey, I just wanted to reach out. I've been doing this in my coursework and I just really wanted to see if you have any guidance for me in what I should do this summer. I've been applying to these internships. I got an offer. I got 2 offers. I don't know which company to pick. I haven't got any offers. How should I keep building my resume and my skill set so I can get an offer next year? Ask them for advice. Make them your mentor. They don't always have to know that they're your mentor. You can make them your mentor unofficially. Okay, that's the one thing. I told you about posts. Again, resharing, similar to retweeting, sharing on your Instagram story. Same thing. It shows people what you're passionate about. The reason this is powerful is because this is going to show people this is what I'm interested in. And then when they see something that's related to that, they're going to share it with you. Say, hey, I noticed you're really, really passionate about NASA. I saw this opportunity. You should apply to it. So it's going to keep people knowing what you're about so that they can share opportunities with you. And then again, posting and bragging a little bit about professional academic feats or experiences. If you're working on a personal project, you were part of a hackathon, anything like that, post that. Say, hey, this weekend I participated in the George Mason Patriot Hacks and I've worked with this team. You can tag people just like you can on anything else. Tag them. If there was like a sponsor, Google, Amazon, anything like that, tag them as well. Share what your experience was. Why was it valuable? What did you take out of it? Share a picture. A lot of times pictures get a lot more interaction. Just share a little bit about yourself, what you're growing in, that kind of thing. Okay, now I'm just going to take you to my LinkedIn really quick so you can see it. And then we're going to get into the actual meat of this session and let you guys ask any questions, share your profiles, let us help you build it, anything like that. Okay, so like I said, mirroring profiles that you admire. Okay, you guys can look at mine if you want. You can look at other people's. If you are interested in CS, anything like that, literally anything. Go find someone at CS that works at a company you're interested in. Click on their page, say, okay, what do they have? Mirror it, you know? Okay, so about, this is my bio. Okay, this will make you stand out too. This is kind of like your elevator pitch. So this gets them a little overview of what you're about. Featured, this is like things that you've posted that you want, that you're proud of about kind of thing. So this is like my internship offer. I did another LinkedIn event, talked about that. This was a conference that I was a panelist at. This was a finalist award I got that I posted about. And then the cool thing about this is that this tells you how many people viewed your profile, post views, search appearances. Search appearances is really cool because you can see who's viewing your profile. So these are where the people worked. This is what they do, that kind of thing. Next is content. Okay, so internship experience. For my people that have internships, put that on there. This can be a little bit more detailed than your resume. So your resume usually have about 3 bullet points per internship experience, research experience, anything like that. Here you can elaborate. So a lot of these, look how long this is. Super long, right? That's okay because it's LinkedIn. Doesn't matter. Don't have like an essay, but you can elaborate on stuff, you know. If you have a video presentation you've done, link that. If you have a coding project on GitHub, link that as well. That's a good thing to build your profile, your portfolio of things you've done. This was a hackathon. There's more stuff. These are my campus jobs I have on here. This is where I started, okay? This was in high school. I did that in high school. I still have it because it's relevant, you know, NASA, it's pretty cool. internship, that kind of thing. Next thing, education, organizations you're part of. Again, this goes back to people relating to you. They also participate in tutoring during college. Did they participate in SWE, SHEP, anything like that? Kind of gives people some insight into you a little bit. Licenses, certifications. So next year, DISC in particular, we're going to be focusing on getting people cloud certified through AWS. If you have an AWS certification, put that on there. If you have a 3D printing certification, put that on there. This shows people what you have. Why are you valuable? Why should they hire you? Again, virtual resume. Volunteer experience. Organizations that I have leadership positions in. If I'm a mentor, I have that on there. You talk about what it's about. There's some more stuff. There's a lot of stuff from SHEP. Okay, skills and endorsements. This is where you talk about anything from interpersonal skills, public speaking, leadership, to tools and technologies, any coding languages, softwares, anything like that, put those in there. And then accomplishments, put your courses. It's going to show people what have you taken. Usually, I'm going to use like biology, chem majors as an example. So when you apply to something and you're like, okay, I have Chem 1, Chem 2, Orgo, organic chemistry, they automatically know, okay, I know what that is because it's a core class. So they already know what you learned. So that's why it's good to have this on there, because it shows, okay, I know that they know their math, they've taken Cal 1, Cal 2. I know that they know about data mining because they took a class on it. So it just shows people what you know. And then honors awards shows them that, okay, this person's cool. They got some recognition. Cool. Projects, this section's cool because I can break down. These are the projects that I've done. This is helpful. I'm gonna tell you why for your resume in a second. Languages you know. Interest, follow companies you're interested in. Okay. Now we're gonna get into helping you all build your LinkedIn's. First, let me tell you a little bit about if you don't have internship experience, research experience, personal projects, hackathons, class projects, add those on there. It's going to kind of make up for any experience that you don't have in the professional world. You still have experience, you're still valuable. You need to show them that. Put those on there. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is if anyone would like to share their page and we can walk you through how to build it. Or if anyone has any questions, if you just really need me to slow down a little bit, you want to go back, you want to ask about, okay, how do I talk more about an internship experience? How do I talk more about participating, volunteering, projects, anything like that? Now is your time. Please feel free to ask.
I actually just created my LinkedIn profile for today. I've just the last couple days I was waiting for today so that I could work on it. So if you'd like, I just sent you a connect request. It's basically blank. I just added a couple things. Yep, that's me. So if you'd like to use that as an example.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, or thank you for the help I'm about to get.
Of course. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to actually split this screen in half. I'm gonna share another page so you can see again with the mirroring people's pages, right? Let me go ahead and stop sharing screen really quick and then, or actually, how can I just share both? Okay, I'll just share both. And I'm gonna open up another tab. Okay, let me ask you this. What companies are you interested in?
I'm definitely interested in NASA, so I was really happy to hear you name drop NASA a couple times. I did a brief, I don't know if it would be called an internship because I was in high school, but with the Virginia Space Coast Scholars, we worked at the Goddard Wasp facility. Yeah, so that's about I guess, I don't want to say the best or like a peak of things, but since I've wanted to go back to NASA since then, that was the number one thing I've used for like college applications, job applications,
That's awesome. Okay, it's nice to see an alumni from there. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We see NASA, right? Wait, can you see this? Let me minimize this. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so see NASA, go here, go to employees. Particularly, what roles are you interested in at NASA? Like, what's
So
your?
I'm mechanical engineering and concentration in aerospace.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let's see. Do we see anybody you'd be interested in? Mechanical. Okay, this is aerospace engineering, NASA space. I'll talk to you more after this. NASA space is what I participated in last year. Great opportunity.
Oh, awesome.
Also, just look at my profile. There's a lot of cool
Yeah,
stuff.
I
from
will,
NASA.
I will definitely be stalking your profile a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, machine learning research. Let's see, locations, all filters. Let's see. Industry. Would you say aviation and aerospace?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So show results. Let's see. Missions manager. We're gonna just pick someone so we can kind of get to the chase here. Development at NASA Center Research. Okay, we're gonna go to this guy. Okay. So let's see. He's got this cool little bio here. Let's see. Okay. So how can we make your bio to look something like this guy? That's what you're gonna do. Okay.
Right.
So
Yep.
look at what are you striving to increase? Were you trained in anything? Any classes that you took last semester that you're like, yeah, that was really cool. I was trained in calculus.
Yeah.
What?
I
Anything?
have some experience. I have a decent amount of experience in Inventor and AutoCAD, which is what I
Okay,
think a lot
that's
of
good.
ME majors use. Yep.
That's good. Okay, talk about that. Say proficient in AutoCAD and Inventor, built XYZ, blah, 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 projects, anything like that. Any skill sets that you're currently working on as well. If you're working on a 3D printing certification, you can say that. It's going to show what you're doing, what you have accomplished, and what's in progress. What are you trying to develop? Okay, featured. Again, make those cool posts. Talk about NASA, the experience you had through Space Coast Scholars. That's definitely freaking cool. That's awesome. I can speak from experience. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm glad. I was
So
my only
definitely
other
listen
question
to-
was like, is high school stuff okay to add? Because I'm like, oh, I'm a
You're
junior, so I don't know.
you're a junior.
Hmm.
Yeah, I still have mine on there. That's NASA, girl. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
NASA is a substantial thing. Yes, please. Do you have a video of your anything
Yes, I
from
do
NASA?
actually. Just recently, I
Okay.
joined an engineering society, so I pulled up some old photos and videos where we got to see, oh my God, which one was it? It was the spacecraft that was delivering to the ISS. And
Oh,
we have a
okay.
decent amount where we had to put together a project and talk to NASA engineers about it. So I have tons of photos with them.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Add some of those in there, It shows that you actually did it. You're not just lying.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe you, but it kind of
Yeah,
adds
no,
to
I'm
it adds
glad to post
character.
them. I looked very
Yeah, and
different at
even
the
just
time,
make
but
like a post about it. Like honestly, make a post and then feature it. Like this guy, he put a feature for this.
okay,
Um,
I will. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
make a
more
post
than
about it
glad to.
for sure. Okay, so next is experience. So like you said, your NASA experience. Talk about what it is. Talk about what it's from. Again, you can look at my profile. I know I talked about it on mine. Okay, so how does he format this? He puts bullets talking about what he did. Again, look at the verbiage too. That's what strengthened my profile as well. As I looked at the verbiage of people that were professionals in that industry, and then I added those into my bullets. Next thing, let's see. He also worked here. A lot of cool stuff. You can like design, good word, perform an independent, yes, good word, design, develop, support. I'm going to give you one tip. This also applies to your resume. Use action verbs because it shows that you did something. This is
Oh, okay,
a
yeah.
good word, support, but you can use something a bit stronger. What did you do? Did you analyze something? How did you contribute to the team? Essentially.
Right.
Also use it on your resume as well, because that's definitely a valuable skill set is verbiage. Also quantify. That is very important. I'll go to mine really quick. Okay, so good example would be on this one. I talk about 5 regional leaders, status from 8
Oh, I
teams.
see.
Numbers are really important. The reason why is because it shows them at the scale that you worked at. So if you're doing something nationally, if you're doing something locally, it shows them, okay, this is what they're used to working on, and this is the experience they have. It goes beyond, okay, I worked on a project and I coded this thing. Okay, what was the impact? How many people did you work with? How many people did you affect? What was the impact? So quantifying stuff is really important. Let me see if I can go back to this guy. I hope I can. Please, please, please. Okay, cool. Okay, next thing, university. You have your university. Good job. Are you part of any organizations? I mean, you heard about this event somehow, right? So those on there.
SWE, yep, I'll be adding SWE.
Okay, so education, licenses, certifications. I know that I think CAD actually has like a little certification thingy. So maybe look into getting that. It's like an
Oh yeah,
online.
I did not know that. I would
Yeah,
definitely do
so
that.
that's a good thing to have. Also, LinkedIn has kind of like experience tests that you can do to show that you're actually proficient in something. I haven't done any of them because I just haven't had the time, but it's also a good way to stand out because it puts like a badge on your LinkedIn and says, okay, this person passed the Python level 1. So it shows them,
Oh
okay, this
yeah, like a
person.
verification kind of.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, volunteer experience. Do you have any volunteer experience that you can add?
I do,
Think of
yes.
anything.
I'm very
Okay.
happy and proud to say I've been involved since high school. Just I was very lucky that I had the opportunity. My neighbors had their own charity organization for childhood cancer fundraising. So I'll
Oh,
add
okay.
that as well.
Okay, yeah, definitely talk about that because it shows how you're not only passionate about what you're doing in academia professionally, but also shows you give back to the community. You're more than just your degree. You're also
Right.
a good human. You're a good person. It's good, but okay, next, skills and
I guess, oh,
endorsement.
sorry, I have a question about that as well. I do work part-time outside of school in like a field that is not related to engineering, but I've done like fast food and retail and stuff, but now I currently work in like music, so I teach piano lessons. I'm wondering
Okay,
if that would be worth adding because it's
yes,
not related in any. Oh, okay. You think
the
it'd be
reason
worth?
why. So, would you say that, okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. Feel free to not answer this. Is your
Mhm.
resume hefty? Does it have a lot of cool stuff on it so far?
No, my resume is super outdated because I've been doing this job for like 4 or 5 years now, so I haven't needed my
Okay.
resume.
Reason I ask is because if you're doing something consistently like music, tutoring, um, anything like that, and you're doing that during school, you've done it for a long period of time, it looks good on your resume. The reason why is because it shows them that you're able to balance multiple things at once. What soft
Uh,
skill is valuable from that job? If you're a
okay.
cashier, what soft skill transitions into the workforce that they are going to value? There's a lot of people that are really good at engineering, but they suck at talking or they are
Oh,
just terrible at being on a team. So if you talk about, oh, I really work together with my team and I do this, this, and that, if you're really good at speaking and working with customers and you help them kind of just solve their problems whenever they're doing a return, anything like that, that's a soft skill. You can get people that have talent, but if they don't got those soft skills, believe me, they're not going to pick you.
right. Should
So
I should I
know those
also add
skills.
those other ones too then, like fast food service and retail service?
I'd say it depends. Have a good balance. So you said you're a junior, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so
Those were in high
have,
school though as well, so.
okay, okay. So for those, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about balance. So if you look at my page, so I'm a senior, right? But
Hmm.
man, why isn't it working? View profile. Okay, so my page. I'm a senior, but I'm gonna scroll back a few years. This is my Virginia Earth Systems Science Scholars. That was a really cool thing that I did straight out of high school. I also worked at Target. Um, and then I went on to be an administrative assistant. Is it really related to data science? Not really. Does it show that I know how to deal with stuff? I know how to work on a team. I know how to help the company save money. Yeah, that's valuable. I kept it on there. This is, mind you, this is literally my freshman year. I came into Mason 2017. This is 2018 summer. Again, I came back as an intern. Is this technical experience? Not really. It's cool because it's NASA, right? But it's not really technical.
Yeah.
But it's showing that I give back to my community. I'm a leader. I have all these soft skills. Okay. Computer lab assistant, definitely not technical. I sat there and watched the computer lab, but what does it show? I'm able to balance a high GPA while in school, also working a job, also, we're going to scroll down, participating in volunteer activities. Okay. What did I do? 2018, 2019. I was a webmaster of SHEP. 2019, 2019. I gave back to a regional conference. So they can see all this because they can see the years on here. That's why I need to make sure to have that. Put the years, put where it was, that kind of thing.
Right.
It's going to have a balance. Okay. So for you, I would say if you have class projects that are really showcasing your skill sets, because you want to have the skill sets that are required for a job. So let's go ahead and look over here. So you said you're mechanical engineering, right?
Mhm.
Okay. No, wait, let me go to jobs actually. Okay, we're gonna go to jobs. My skill. Okay, see this title, skill or company. Mechanical engineer. Okay, so we're gonna pick a mechanical engineering company. I'm gonna do SpaceX just because you're a fellow NASA nerd and SpaceX is cool.
Yeah.
We're going to go to, okay, mechanical engineer. About what skill sets are they looking for? This is another way to strengthen your profile. Skill sets, responsibilities, preferred skills and experience. Okay, masters, don't have that, but it's okay. What do I have? Hands-on project experience. This counts for course experience. If you did a course project, that is hands-on, okay? Believe it or not, if that's all you got right now, that is good. That is enough because that is what you're going to put. Believe me, people that go into entry-level positions, they do not know what they're doing half the time. They got their degree and they know how to sell their skill set so much that they hire them. And then they go and get all these cool skill sets. Next,
You go over the bridge and then you learn how to do it.
yeah, seriously. If I'm being honest with you, getting the job is knowing how to speak about yourself. Think of yourself like a salesman. You are selling your skill set. How can I sell my skill set to this company? Because I am valuable. Why should they hire me? You got the skill set. They're interviewing you. They like you. I promise you they do. They would not interview you if they don't like you. Now you got to sell the personality, show them, hey, I am what I said on paper, but now I got all this personality. I've got teamwork. I know how to talk. I know how to communicate, that kind of thing. But the reason I'm saying look at these job postings is because this is showing the hard skills. The hard skills, if you don't have them, now you know you need them to get positions at companies in mechanical engineering. So you said you have CAD, that's good. If you have any software packages, add those. Application of GDE, don't know what that is, but maybe you should get it. Look into it.
I'll have to look into it because I don't know either.
So anything like this is, I have this little thing where I have a little notebook and I go through, I'm a senior, right? So I'm looking for full-time jobs. So I go through job postings and I see, okay, this is what they're looking for. Do I have those? If I don't have them, how can I get them? Because I want to get those jobs. I want to be what they're looking for. So I want to be the most kind of credible candidate and really what they're looking for so I can get the job. Because I'm sure they're interviewing a lot of people that have the same credentials as I do, but how can I stand out even more? Is that a certification? Is that a project with hands-on experience? What is it? How can I stand out? So looking at these job postings, seeing what you can do to stand out, do Tesla because Tesla's cool. Requirements, product development, environment, hands-on experience designing and building electromechanical systems. If you don't have it, how can you get it? Look for opportunities where you can get it. Look at people's profiles that are in this role. If you want to work at Tesla, look at people in this role at Tesla, see what they've done. How did they get there? Mirror it, learn from them. They are offering you the world, showing you their resume. It's literally their resume. So learn from their resume, write stuff down. See, I need this skill set, this one, and write it in there. Okay, this is how you build that section. Again, balance. If you don't have an internship, course projects, if you have a job, research opportunities are also really good. If you have any research experience, or if you want to gain research experience, Mason is a top research school on the East Coast, believe it or not. So contact your professors, say, hey, I'm really interested in your research. Obviously do your research on if they actually do research and then email that. But get involved because a lot of these professors do a lot of really cool work and they're eager to share that with their students, and they are excited to have people come on board and work with them in their research labs. So if anything, I'll definitely say look into that as an opportunity if you don't have internship experience just yet.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, and then just add those skill sets, add those classes again. You can just use my profile as an example. I believe I have CAD in here too. I have like all kinds of crazy stuff, skills and endorsements. Another thing, since you are in this room with so many people right now, and I'm gonna check the chat really quick. Let's see what you all are talking about. So you have your LinkedIn's, right? If you know any of these people, or if you just want to be nice, go and endorse them and their skill sets. So this is a little take skills quiz I was talking about. So if you want to take a skill, say you're really good at Python, and you're like, yo, I know I'm solid at this. Go take the skill quiz. See if you are as solid as you think you are. If you are, great. If you're not, keep working on it. You're gonna get there. But you can endorse people. So let me show you an example. I'll go to one of my friends' pages. Let's see. Let's see. I'll go to Neha. Neha, let's go to your page. This is my vice president. She is here today.
Aw, hi.
So these are the skills she has. This is how you endorse someone. You go and click on the little plus. You say endorse. How skilled are they at this? Highly skilled. I know Neha.
Thanks.
And how do I know Neha? I work directly with her. Yes, submit. Now I've endorsed her. You can do this for the skill sets that you know. If you are in a class with someone, you worked on a project with them, I'm pretty sure you know their skill
Okay.
set. Go and endorse them. These endorsements are helpful because it also gives you credibility, because they're like, okay, they're not just saying this, or actually know what they're talking about. And then when like things like this, who are highly skilled at this, what that means is that they're also endorsed for that skill
Oh,
set.
I see. So it's kind of like trading like the value of the skill that you're doing, and then someone's verifying it that is also good at that thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for all of these also have descriptions. So put those descriptions in there. Projects have descriptions. Courses, you can put the course number. It's not really as important, but you can. Yeah. So any other last questions? We went 1 minute over time, but any last minute questions?
No, I think I have more answers than I did questions, which is great. Thank you so much for the help.
Of course, of course. And does anyone else have any questions? Please feel free to unmute yourself. I'm going to be sharing this doc that we were going over, this one right here. I'm going to be sharing that. We'll be emailing it to you, or also just join the SWE or DISC chat. We'll drop it in there as well. And follow our pages. There will be updates and cool resources that you can find on these pages. So please add us, connect. Any last minute questions? I'm gonna go and stop sharing screen. No last minute questions?
Oh, I guess I do have one more last minute question. So since LinkedIn is kind of like almost, a lot bigger and a lot more than a resume, is there any point to add a resume that like you've already, edited
Yes.
and stuff to LinkedIn?
Yes.
Okay.
The reason why is because when recruiters are looking at your profile, they can, if they're interested in you, sure, they can look at your LinkedIn profile, but it's easier for them to actually be able to pull your resume and put it into their database, and also to send the resume to hiring managers. So a lot of times it'll be recruiters reaching out to you, and then they'll pull your resume after they contact you, whatever, send it to the hiring manager. They'll review it, and then because they have a process, right? So they run off of resumes a lot of times. Some companies, they run off of LinkedIn profiles, but it's helpful to have that on there. I don't have mine actually. I need to put that on there. That's where I'm kind of slacking a little bit, but it's helpful because they can pull that and put it into their database as well. Another tip really quick is, what was I gonna say? Oh man, I can't remember. It has to do with resumes, I think. I can't remember. If I remember, I'll go ahead and let you know.
Oh, sorry. For the resumes then, you said so recruiters are the people that would kind of like scope out who they're trying to hire, and they would take the resume and then send it to the person that is looking to hire?
Yes. Okay, that's a tip. I just refreshed my memory. Okay.
Okay,
So
I'm glad.
if you are looking to get an internship, get a job, yes, connect with recruiters, but also connect with hiring managers. like I just said, recruiters are sending your resume to the hiring manager. If you connect with the hiring manager, again, do the little messaging thing I taught you. What's their page about? What experiences do you share? What experiences do you have questions about? Look at where did they work? Why are you talking to them? Do you want to know more about the company? Do you know more about the culture, about their position? What do they do? Ask that, because they like answering questions, as weird as that sounds. They like having a conversation. They're human, you know? So ask them a question. If you're interested in the role, the company, anything like that, ask them. Hiring managers are the ones that hire you. So if you connect with them, you nurture the relationship, say, hey, I'm really looking for a position. Do you have any openings? Like, yeah, let me connect you. Let me share the link with you for the position, that kind of thing. It's a good way to gain some traction in the
Gotcha.
process. Yeah,
Right. Okay. Thank you.
of course. Anyone else have any last minute questions? And if you do have any questions, you just don't want to like ask in the chat right now or like turn your mic off. If you want to ask in any of the disc or SWE chats after this, please feel free to. And Lania shared the link tree as well as the sign-in sheet. If you have not filled those out, please fill those out now. I'll go ahead and share the sign-in sheet one more time. Oops, that was to someone
Oh, I wanted to
specifically.
mention I accidentally did that twice with two separate emails. I meant to do it with my GMU email.
You're good, no
There's
worries.
two Laylas, then sorry about that.
You're good. And then here is the disc link tree as well. Oh, Lania shared it too. Cool, we're on the same page. So please go and follow to get our newsletter. Lania is our secretary. She makes some awesome newsletters. They have a lot of internship opportunities, any cool like resources as far as getting certifications, learning skill sets, that kind of thing, as well as SWE. SWE is an awesome org. This is who we're collabing with today. So please connect. If you have any questions, please message us on GroupMe or Instagram, anything like that, email as well. Other than that, thank you all so much for coming. And I hope you were able to get a lot from this session. And if you have any last minute questions, we can answer now. If not, I will let you all go. Sorry for keeping you 6 minutes over, but I'm glad you all stayed. Thank you all so much.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Of
Thank
course.
you.